Celine Dion.
Justin Bieber, Drake. Like when I was like looking at like the whole like LA versus Toronto thing, it's like, damn it, I'm on the Drake side. I want to be on the Kendrick side. Why can't I be on the Kendrick side? That's the side I want to be on.
You could. You just got to go.
Yeah.
We'll kick you out of the country.
See, I love Canada, but you know what it is? It's just a deeper pool of musicians in the States. You have more,
Yeah.
Are like the ones are the crossover artists are just not the ones that like, I'm super excited. The same way that like a lot of the international crossover artists in the States, they're not really my thing too. Oh, here we go.
I think that's just pop music in general.
Yeah, I guess so. I like pop music, ish. I do. I like it.
You like pop?
Wait.
Some pop music. A is on.
A's on. All right, hello.
And we are on.
We are live. You like this little setup here.
Yeah,
this
a
is a nice little
change of
sitting down. I
pace.
kind of like this vibe here. Big shiny tones. I'm Jay Leonard J.
I'm Jonathan Lindsay.
Oh, I'm coming to you live from Tapestry Music, the world famous music store here in Vancouver, British Columbia. And we're here to talk about guitar stuff, the stuffery of the industry of guitar.
And we have a little different setup today because we thought we spent a lot of time talking about guitars, but it might be fun to actually play some guitars.
The show's called Big Shiny Tones, and we're at what episode? What now, Mitch? Like episode? We're on episode 12, and
Holy
we
smokes.
have not played a single guitar. No, we played guitar once. Remember we had that?
Oh yeah, you played
the deluxe.
The last
I think I played a solid 3 or 4 notes on that.
There we go.
Yeah, so we're gonna see.
We're gonna find out if we know how to play guitar today. So stay tuned.
He's a very, very good guitar player.
We'll see.
Very
We
good
will
guitar
see.
player. So, what's going on? There's a
Going on
very
in the news.
exciting week.
Yeah, I got something for you.
Okay.
Being you're a Jaguar guy.
I am a Jaguar.
You've had a lot of experience with Jaguars.
I do like
another very famous Jaguar player, Johnny Marr, has a new signature model out.
Yes, he does.
He's had several Jaguars.
I think his Jaguar, like the original Johnny Marr one, beside him, that was like the only American-made Jaguar in the catalog.
For a while, yeah.
For a long time.
The Jaguar is always kind of the forgotten stepchild.
They tried. They had like that 60th anniversary of the Jaguar. They did like a whole Jaguar thing. And then like right after that, they just continued all the American Jaguar stuff, except for the Johnny Marr. It's like his version of the Jaguar has become like the quintessential Jaguar.
It's usually the best one, it seems.
It is. Because a lot of the things people want in a Jaguar seems to be on the guitar. And look at this thing. This is...
This is different, huh?
How Jaguar is that? It's just going even further.
It's got 3 pickups. It reminds me of a bass 6 from a distance.
It reminds me of one of my I regret selling it guitars. To have it talk. See, I always see the thing is, we have a show, we have to talk about stuff a lot, and I have like 6 stories that I always like to tell. And one of the stories is one of my guitars I regret. It was a Reverend Spy. Have you ever heard of those guitars? This is back,
Reverend, yes.
Reverend,
Spy, no.
This was back when they were made in the States. And I think they're made in the States again now, I think. I'm not quite sure.
Okay.
But they had a model, and it was black. It was offset, and it had 3 lipstick pickups.
Very much like this guitar.
So I think me and Johnny Marr, we got some stuff in common. The two of us have some stuff. You can see there's some interesting stuff. What's going on electronically here?
So the pickups are these Kent Armstrong lipstick pickups.
Those are very famous ones. Yeah. Everyone likes the Kent Armstrong lipstick.
I always know Kent Armstrong for like jazz pickups, like jazz humbuckers on archtop guitars. I didn't realize that the lipstick pickups were a thing. But hey, sure, that seems pretty cool.
And we got some switching up on the top here.
I think, a different setup than a traditional Jag on both the top and the bottom, because that's one of the things I think that maybe people get a little turned off with Jags is just all the switches.
It's a lot of switches.
What all these switches do, and you can never remember.
So one popular one is that blade switch, because that was on the old one.
Yeah. So that's nice. Instead of having like the on-offs for all the pickups, this one's it's a 4-way on here.
But it does have an on-off still.
It does, just to complicate it. So I guess the 4-way's got
neck, bridge, and then both. In parallel and both in series.
Is it parallel and series on there? Because it's also got a 3-way switch up top that turns the middle pickup on or off, or solos the middle pickup, it sounds like.
Or is that what it is? Is it a solo or is it an on?
Because it said like on-off only.
Yeah, so I'm assuming it's a 3-way switch. Yeah. So you have neck, bridge, neck and bridge parallel, neck and bridge series. And then at any time you want, you could install your your middle
pickup in there.
anytime you want, which is cool. That's actually something I've done to a couple Strats. I've done that mod. See, me and Johnny Marr.
There you go. You're on the same like brain wave.
There's so much. I was thinking to myself, who am I the most like? Johnny Marr, evidently. So
well, I mean, you look
it's
spitting
image, isn't it? It's crazy. So and then
there's a bright switch,
a master bright switch, which is something that was on the old Johnny Marr.
Okay.
And then another bright switch.
It's got another bright switch.
Mm-hmm. Do you know why?
I don't know why. That makes no sense to me.
Position four on that blade switch would be the series, right? So the bridge and the neck and series. And the thing about that is when you turn it on, you're going to get like double the output, and it's really.
So you need double the bright.
Well, it's really thick sounding. So like if you EQ your guitar for the single coil pickups, the series sound could be kind of muddy. So the bright does a really good job of just clearing it up. So the bright switch is actually very nice for you series wiring Jaguar users. So I think that's probably why. And then you just have, and then just for the fun of it, one more bright switch for everything.
Just extra bright, because why not?
That's one thing. Another thing I was thinking, Jaguars, how do we get them more bright? We just need a little bit more brightness.
Aren't they like the last guitar that needs to be brighter?
There's a lot of tinniness going on in that guitar. Beautiful, beautiful tinniness. I like it. I like lip because it reminds me of my old Reverend Spy. It has a blade switch.
I wonder if Johnny's got one of those guitars.
If he does.
Maybe that's what he based this on.
Or maybe it's like Fight Club. Maybe we're the same person.
Oh.
Like, have you noticed, like, every time he's playing a gig, am I in town somewhere? Like, is this? I got to look at my calendar. I got to look at my calendar. But it's so cool. I think. What do you think of it? You like it?
It's neat. It's not my kind of cup of tea, but it's cool. I have to say, I think I like his other Jaguars better. Like the more
the other one's more. I think what's
like
nice
the two pickup ones.
Yeah, that one over there. That was like the red. So the class, I think.
There's been a few different colors that are cool.
That red or orange. What color?
Yeah, that orange one was another one.
Click on that one, Mitch. So I think that the reason why this has really captured a lot of love in the Jaguar community is because it just has practical upgrades.
Yeah.
Like blade switch instead of switches.
Yeah.
It has the Mustang bridge, which people tend to get really frustrated with the standard jazz.
Yeah, we've talked about that a few times now.
Yep. And it has, simplified it. They got rid of the rhythm circuit. They just did a couple, like, just very thoughtful mods while still keeping true to the spirit of the Jaguar. Yeah. This new one is really taking it to another place. It's even more different. So I don't know if it's going to be as well regarded as the original Johnny Marr Sig, but it's cool.
Yeah, but definitely cool.
Would you buy it? I would buy it.
I know you would buy it. That's for sure.
I would buy it. Cool. I like that. All right. What else is in the news today?
You know what? I don't have a piece of paper in front of me.
Oh,
and I've completely forgotten. I think we're going to look at. There's a new pedal from. It's a collab pedal, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Jack White's company, Third Man Records.
Does he own Third Man Hardware? Does he own that company?
I think so. Yeah, isn't that his company?
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. It's
he
like
owns that pedal company.
It's his brand. Yeah. And they've gotten huge now. There's all kinds of stuff in the line. It used to be just like one pedal, but now there's like a whole slew of stuff. But they do a lot of these collabs with other pedal brands. And this one's with JHS.
And this one's
called it's a funky one.
Oh, yeah.
It is Troika.
Beautiful. A Troika. One thing I will say about those Third Man pedals is they look so cool.
And it's big.
Oh, and it's big. And it's ostentatious.
Yeah. And it's got sliders on there so you can like control your feet. We should mention it's an analog delay of some type.
Analog delay, yeah.
No knobs whatsoever, only sliders.
And look, you could actually use it with a guitar and the micro. So
yeah, it's got XLRs.
And I think he did, and he actually used it a lot live. I think we were watching a video about it. He actually sticks it on his like mic stand, so he got so he kind of
like mounted right there.
Maybe he saw too many corporate bands with their iPads.
Yeah, he's like, what are those guys doing?
I want to be as cool as that corporate band and have something stuck to my mic stand. So he got this thing.
When I think of Jack White, the first thing comes to mind is corporate.
For sure. Corporate cover band, 24 Karat Magic. It's probably the most underrated Jack White original song. So there's a lot of things that's cool about this. Look at the angle and it's very ergonomic for the feet.
Well, it's definitely been designed with that in mind, like it's big angle in those sliders, so you can just move those with your feet.
I think sliders on pedals, it's like butter on toast. It's just perfect. I remember when I was a little puppy and I saw the micro synth for the first time, and
that's got a lot of sliders.
All those sliders.
They're tiny little sliders.
I just thought it was the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. And Walrus has a whole series of pedals that all the things are sliders, and it's kind of their cheaper version, sort of like the equivalent of what's the GHS
like the 3 Series.
Yeah, like the 3 Series. It's right. Like I think it's called the Element series.
Gotcha.
And I think a lot of people buy those pedals just because it has sliders. Because it's
sliders,
cool.
they look cool.
Sliders are awesome.
It's a very like, I don't know, 70s kind of analog synth looking thing or something.
Especially with kind of the idea, the pedals have kind of turned into like these boutique-y items now. It's, you got to have a little bit of magic, a little bit of a little
bit of fashion sense to them too.
Fashion sense, a little bit of panache. The thing about the angled pedals is they make a lot of sense until you put them on something like a pedal train. Because the pedal board's this, and then you're adding more angle to it, and then before you know it, you have this really upright foot.
It might not fit in your pedal case too. You definitely want to do a little bit of measuring before you throw one of these on your board.
Yeah, which is funny because a lot of companies make these just so.
Oh, there's the 3 Series.
Oh yeah, see, look at it. I like. There's a simplicity to the 3 Series I like, but I like the fact that you can go XLR in there. I like the fact that you can go guitar in there if you want as well. I would actually use it. I was listening for the slapback. I love the sound of slapback delay on a human voice, and so that's probably how I would use it. Just put like the old iPad.
You'd stick it on your mic stand?
Actually, I'd put it in a fanny pack and just keep it right here.
Fanny pack. There we go.
I like the colors. What's Troika mean? It's like
it's a Russian thing with they had 3 horses pulling a horse carriage.
Yeah.
As opposed to like 2 or 4. So that's the reference there.
And then the slider's supposed to look like poles, like on
a little bit
horses
like a
on a carousel. Isn't that what they're going for?
I don't know. Is there a difference between the black and the yellow one?
I don't. Well,
or is it just different colors?
Well, I see they both have the XL. Might be different colors. I was reading something about like there's a standard version and a something version. I'm not sure.
The something version.
The something version. Well, there might be like a mic version. There might be just like a straight guitar version. I'm not quite sure.
Either way, cool looking thing. Looks like a lot of fun to play with.
I love big pedals.
I need that.
You want that? You like that, eh? You want that?
Well, plus there's only 3 sliders, so you can't get into too much trouble with it.
I like simple pedals. You were talking about that. We like the simple, straightforward pedals.
Not too complicated.
Bold strokes.
Yeah, there we are. Cool.
All right, beautiful.
What else did we have? There was, I don't know how I missed this, but no, I don't. I'm always hesitant how to pronounce this. Is it?
Okay.
I've heard. Is it Chalks or Siox or Siox?
Siox.
I don't know. But anyways, company that does power supplies, and they do some fantastic, really like nice flat power supplies. They put a limited run, and they made them look like old 80s cassette tapes and VHS tapes.
Awesome.
Which I thought was hilarious.
Let me see what these things look like. I think, those power supplies they're incredibly quiet. They're incredibly small. They fit anywhere.
Yeah, some of them are like really thin, so you can fit them on boards. Although, funny thing, if you get one of these with the limited edition graphics and you put it underneath your pedal board, you're never going to see it.
What a horrible waste to buy this beautiful. Look at that thing. That beautiful.
You got to put this on top of your pedal board for sure.
That is so funky.
They're 2 top sellers. We sell a ton of these. The Soul is the little one. I think that one does 5 outputs. And the DC7 is kind of their top seller.
Yeah, the DC, you could piggyback those too, right? Like the DC7, you can get it. Extender.
You can extend them and hook a few of them together and stuff like that.
I've been wanting to get. The thing that makes Siox different is they use the RCA jacks.
I know, it's weird.
Input. They're the only company that does that, but it's a firm connection. But it's definitely a bold choice because it's not like you can. Use your old power cables.
Yeah, it's a little proprietary. It seems to work really nicely, and they do a ton of like really interesting little connectors to to sort of turn them into like daisy chain them and stuff like that all hook together with those same RCA connectors. So pretty, some cool stuff.
And all the outputs are isolated, which is kind of cool. You know, one thing is for all of you that are wondering why, you know, if you look at the pedal like that, why is it so much more expensive than like the standard, you know, multi power supply? It's the fact that it's isolation, so that way each thing has its own dedicated line. It lessens the noise that you're going to get out of your pedals,
which is a good thing because we don't want noise.
No, what it is, it's always the digital pedals.
Yeah. It's like your digital reverbs, your digital delays, loopers, stuff like that. Those are the worst because if they share power, you get that like high pitched like
whine,
hiss and whine. It's pretty nasty.
And even then, if you get isolated power supplies, they're not all equal. Like, you know, it's some of them don't filter as good as others. And I know, I know the Strymon ones are really. I have a very, very noisy in terms of power sound in my like studio where I film my videos. So, because I have lights and I have all these things going on in this room, all this equipment, and it's just a mess of wires. And pretty much like the Strymon stuff, the Seahawk stuff, it's like the only stuff that really gets rid of that digital noise. Really, really nice. So
yeah, lights are the worst, especially fluorescent ones.
Oh, the worst, absolute worst. So I think those are cool. Yeah. That's cool. The funny thing is, most people would buy those Seahawks power supplies pretty much because they fit underneath the pedal board.
Yeah.
But that one you wouldn't want to put in. Maybe
definitely goes on top.
Yeah. You could stick your picks to the top of it, I guess.
Yeah, very nice. All right. I think we can move on from the news.
Oh my gosh, that's it for the news today? Oh my gosh,
it's plenty of news.
Day.
Plenty of news.
I know.
So unpopular opinion today. We're going to take the opinion of somebody rather famous, Mr. John Mayer.
Mr. John, what does Mr. John Mayer have to say this week?
So he said that fretboard radius is not important.
Okay, fretboard radius.
The radius doesn't matter.
And what do you mean it doesn't matter?
So he said before they even did his signature guitars with PRS, he didn't know what the radius was. Like 7 1/4 inch, 9 1/2 inch, 10 inch, 12 inch, 16 inch. Didn't know, didn't care. And he, in a recent interview, said that he can play everything on his 7 1/4 inch radius guitar that he could play on his 9 1/2 inch radius guitar.
Oh, wow.
Because I believe the Silver Sky that PRS does, I think the American one is 7 1/4 inch radius. I think the SE version is a 9 1/2 inch radius, which is interesting.
So for all the uninitiated, what we're talking about is if you look at a guitar, like the neck. Oh, let's get this one over here. If you get the neck of a guitar, the fretboard is not completely flat. So this is actually not flat. There's actually a curve to it. It kind of looks like a little U or an upside down U like this. And that would be the radius of it. And so if you're looking at a Fender guitar, the most curve would be a 7 1/4. And then we get to the modern one would be 9 1/2. Gibson would be 12.
12, yeah.
And then, you get to some shredder guitars, it gets even flatter, 16 1/2. And then there's even modern ones where it starts curved and it starts getting flat.
Compound radius.
Kind of like a cone, like an ice cream cone. You look at an ice cream cone like that? That's kind of what's going on over there.
And you got other end of your spectrum, your classical guitars, flat radius. Completely flat. Yeah. And what a lot of people don't realize is the number. So the smaller the number is, the more curved that radius is. That's because you're taking a piece of a circle. So if you take a circle like this and your frets are, say, this long, it's quite a curve. The bigger that circle gets, that little piece of that circle is going to start to flatten out. So the lower the number, the more curved the radius is. As that number gets higher, the flatter it starts to get. And we thought it'd be fun today to do a little experiment and put this to a test. Yeah. And we've got a few guitars here with different radiuses. Radii. We've got a 7 1/4 inch radius.
Yep.
We've got a 9 1/2 inch radius. We have a 12 inch radius, and then a 16.9 inch radius.
So there's two things that's gonna happen when you're playing with radius. This is what they say. John Mayer might not care, but what they say is when radius, the flatter it gets, like the more rounded it is, the easier it is to chord. The feel is going to be different. It's going to feel more rounded. It's going to, where it's flatter, you might get a little bit more technical stuff. You could put your thumb behind and everything just a little bit more even to play. And the other thing has to do with bending. And that's where the controversy really comes from. When people are mad on the internet about radius, they're usually talking about bending. And I'm calling BS on John Mayer. He knows exactly.
Me too.
He knows exactly what he's doing. He did 7 1/4 because he wanted to be cheeky. We know. I know. He has a lot of big old Fender guitars and he's trying to make a statement. Come on. We know, buddy. And I'm going to show you. It does make a difference. So we got a 7 1/4.
100%.
So I actually think.
And before we get going here, I should mention too, we couldn't find all these guitars in stock with the same gauge strings on here.
Because strings going to have an effect.
That's going to have an effect too. So what we did is we've got a guitar with a 7 1/4 inch radius with 1046 and a guitar with a 12-inch radius with 1046.
Yep.
And then we have a guitar with a 9.5-inch radius and the 16.9-inch radius. And both of those have 9s. So we can sort of feel with the two different string gauges what the more curved, more flat radius does.
So this is what we talk about when it comes to bending. When you're bending on a flat line, like a flat radius, you can bend and bend and bend, and then the string should be able to ring true. When it's bent, when it's kind of curved, when you bend, there's going to be a point where it's going to start hitting kind of that ski slope, and it's going to fret out.
Uphill.
It's called fretting out. So if I get on here the 15th fret, you can hear. Oh, well, there we go. Here we go.
Tone go.
You can hear the sound starts to go away. Ooh. So if you want to do that slow bend, it's going to start getting a little bit what happened to that note. And that's why if you actually buy a 7 1/4 inch radius guitar nowadays, it's going to come with thicker strings, usually 10s. All of the 7 1/4 inch radiuses, but even John Mayer's guitar, they come with 10s because the thicker strings, you don't have to bend as much to get to that note. Right? You don't actually have to pull the string as far.
I'd never actually thought about that.
Because it's about tension, right? So if you do that, you're going to get that little bit of a choke out. Now, let's look at the 12-inch. We're going to use the same strings, and we're going to go to a 12-inch radius. So let's see here. This one is the 12-inch.
Yep, with 10s on it.
So this has 10s, and listen to this note over here. Oh, let's go here.
It's got the side jack. Going to foil you every time.
Okay, so if we go over here.
Ooh. So
you hear that note, and I can even go higher. I can get it to kind of start sounding like a tone. So I can go higher and higher, and it's not getting that choked out. There's still full sustain.
I'm just waiting for that string to snap.
All right. So the note will ring true. You'll get your sustain, and it will be nice and smooth and beautiful and flowing and wonderful. And you could also make your strings lower. You could lower your action, so the strings don't have to be as far away from frets. Usually, when we're thinking like, oh, I want to get the David Gilmour or Jimi Hendrix, they do big bends on Strats.
Yep.
And the way you can kind of get away with it on a rounded radius is just raise your action high, get the strings higher, and then you can probably get a bigger bend before the strings. With this one, you can keep them low, and you can go really high and get clean. And I find the bend, it's real. The one where I get most of the trouble, it's actually the high E string. I find it doesn't make as much of a difference, especially in the middle strings. B string, I don't really ever feel the choke out as much when I'm playing on a 7.
I guess you're
radius.
part way up the hill.
Yeah,
already
up the hill already. It's that leap from the E string. The E string is always the culprit, right? And if you actually listen to David Gilmour stuff, he's not bending like as much on the high E as he does on the middle strings.
Yeah, B string a lot. I feel like.
Right, but now let's go into the 9s. So 9s get a little bit more, and you can see I have to bend a little bit more. We got the 9s on this one over here. So this is
and the color is deceivingly close.
Guitar.
Do we have the right one?
Yes, it is.
Make sure we got our ducks in a row here.
In theory, I see. We'll know once we hear it choke out. I can go up to there. It's right around there.
Whoa!
And then we lost the string, but I can get a little bit. I can get a little bit further there and have it ring a little bit more with the 9.5, even though we have thinner strings. So thin, in fact, that I could actually make them combust on my fingertips. But then, if we get this guitar over here, I'm going to break a string again. We have, this is actually the guitar we've been waiting to use.
Oh, yeah, this has got the 16.9-inch radius.
And this one, you can just go... Oh, God. I can keep bending and bending until my fingers hurt. And I feel like I'm never going to be able to fret out. I can get that note to ring.
That's pretty limitless.
Yeah, I don't want to... You try to give it a bend.
And we should mention, too, there's, as I get to pick out, there's different fret sizes, too. Mm-hmm. That's going to have an effect on the bending, too, because a lot of times, traditionally, the more curvy radius, like your 7 1/4-inch radius, is also paired with a very low fret. So your fingers are actually very close to the wood of the fretboard, and especially if you had like one of the maple neck strats or a telly with have the lacquer over it, you can be a little sticky. People complain about like getting stuck to the fretboard there. So that's part of that too. So quite often when you get these guitars that have the flatter radius, which tend to be more super strat type guitars for shredding, they also have big jumbo frets on there too. So you're actually further away from the fretboard itself when you're bending, so you don't get that resistance. So those two things can be hand in hand a little bit. Let's check this out here.
That guitar is significantly louder than the other guitars. Holy, there's some power on that thing. Oh, that's.
Oh, here we go. We got a little mini switch.
But you can go.
A lot of bending
now,
down
if
there.
you got this one,
I'm curious. Well, maybe we can try that afterwards for the chords.
Oh, right? Yes,
because that's where it's going to be a little different.
So here we go. Now, and that was the other thing. I do find the rounder radiuses actually do feel very comfortable to play, especially if you're doing like playing down here.
Yeah, really, exactly. Really so. Which one do I got here? This is the
this
is the American Vintage 61. So this has the
vintage radius.
Vintage radius. All right.
Let's see how here. So you can go good.
Well,
there.
It sounds really nice. Yeah. So on those two strings, you're right. It's not.
You don't. Yeah, you're not fretting out as much.
But let's try it on the high E. Yeah, right away.
Yeah, right.
So I'd have to have the action significantly higher if I wanted to bend that high on this guitar, which that's going to make it tough to play for sure. Mm-hmm. For me, like the action on here is already probably about as high as I would want it.
It's actually of all the guitars, this is the one with the highest action, and we're still fretting out on it the earliest of all the guitars. And I think that alone is already telling you that this is kind of BS. Like there's definitely a huge correlation.
Definitely
to the point where like obviously you look at a John Mayer Silver Sky, the action is high. The action it's high. You know, on the PRS in general, they kind of make their action a little on the side.
I haven't played one recently, so
I find
refrain from commenting.
And they use 10 strings. Why is it so that every 7 1/4 radius guitar you play has thicker strings on it? They have to, because you want to get those bends in there, right? You're not seeing a lot of 9 gauge. If you're using 8s or 9s, you're gonna have a lot of trouble with the 7 1/4 inch radius, you know. But and if it's not a big deal, then why does the SE? Why do they have a flatter radius?
And I'm guessing that's just for more appeal to broader market. You know,
my guess is because my idea is that the SE is for people that are beginners. Beginners tend to use lighter strings because they're using lighter strings. You need a flatter radius. That's my guess.
Yeah, it's solid theory. Although I like the light strings myself.
I like the light strings. I'm getting there. I've been playing a lot of light strings.
Yeah, these are with the little frets, curved radius, and these 10s. It's more work than I'm used to. Mm-hmm.
There's also this other thought I have, where it's like just because, Jimi Hendrix and David Gilmour played guitars with, short, small frets and 7 1/4 inch radius, it doesn't mean you have to. You know what I mean? Sure. Like, you don't have to make it as hard on yourself than it is for them. Because if we took Jimi Hendrix and David Gilmour, and had them start their career now, they'd be playing on 9 1/4 inch radius guitars, and they'd be playing, with Floyd Roses and all that kind of stuff too.
Can you imagine Hendrix with the Floyd Rose guitar? That'd be wild.
Oh, dude, just imagine where you take it. No, what would happen is you could listen to his concert footage a little bit better. Because sometimes if you get to the near the end of his concert, his guitar just starting to get so horribly out of tune. And you're like, you can enjoy the concert a little bit more. Just imagine him too with like little in-ears, and you'd have like a little Fender Champ like in the corner.
He'd be using the Helix.
He's using the Helix. He's going full Helix. Jimi Hendrix with the Helix.
Comment below.
So it does, and so I definitely do say, especially for bending, it makes a big difference. If it did make a difference, Fender would have never changed it, right? And then in terms of feel, I actually do think that it does feel nicer. I do like playing 12 for me.
I was gonna say, what's your preferred radius? It's pretty subjective. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It depends on what you like, the style of music you're playing.
I fought against the compound radius for a long time. I always thought compound radius was a little gimmicky. And it was like, and also the maintenance of like getting fret dresses on it, and too, it's a little bit of a different kind of thing. So I kind of fought it, but man, I really like playing guitars that way because you get it feeling really, really nice here, and then you get that comfort up top. And also, the more I go up the neck, the more flat my hand gets, and the more the more I need to have that dexterity and stuff. So having it flatter here makes a lot of sense than having it curved down here makes a lot of sense. And I actually like the more conservative compound ones where, like, say it starts at like 7 1/4 and then it works its way up to like, 12. And then it has like a really nice, gradual feeling. Very, very nice. I like that. But if I had to pick one, especially now that I'm kind of using slightly thinner strings, I kind of think 12 is a good spot. 10 PRS is 10's nice. Yep. 12 is nice. Very, very good. If I was still using 10s, I think 9 1/2 is a good one. But sometimes I do feel like every time I play like a Gibson guitar with 12s and I'm doing my bends and going kind of crazy with it, it's like, I kind of like the clarity I get. I find that a lot of setting up a Strat is getting rid of some of the issues you'd get that Gibsons don't have, because Gibsons have the flatter radius and you can be a little less precise with the setup. I feel like Fender guitars, you have to be a little bit more precise to get the setup just right to keep it quiet.
Well, especially if you're trying to keep the action low.
Yes.
You're right on that edge of like keeping it low without choking out. That's a tough thing for sure. I definitely lean more on the flatter side of the radiuses. Like, I like a 12-inch radius, but I don't really like it much curvier than that. Even like 9 1/2, really? I'm not much of a fan of. I like 16. 16-inch feels great to me. 14-inch, somewhere in there. I've got numerous guitars that are a compound 12 to 16-inch radius, and I much prefer the 16 end of it. And the thing that I find a little interesting with compound radius is because you've got a radius that changes up the neck. So how do you actually set the radius at your bridge? Because it's never going to be right.
Well, I kind of set it up where it is a little flatter. So I actually, on like guitars with set radiuses, I usually set my radius at the 12th fret. So I get all my string heights, get my little ruler, kind of get it all perfect and all the same. And then when I'm using compound radius, I actually do it up here. And I set my heights there. And then I just make sure that the middle one's just a little bit flatter. And that seems to work with me. I'm not super precise. But that was actually one of the things about compound radius. That was always, how do I set the action? And
because if you set it for the radius down here, it's going to be perfect for down here, but it's not going to work up top here, and vice versa. So I find the same thing. I kind of end up setting mine a little bit probably in the middle of those two radiuses.
Oh, yeah? You go in between the two sides.
Because it's like, if I have it set to, for example, like, say the Charvels that have the 12 to 16-inch radius, they come with the bridge preset to 12-inch radius, which is fine if you're down here, but it doesn't feel right to me when I'm playing up in the 16, and I kind of like that feel a bit better. So I end up shimming the saddles on the Floyd Rose there to flatten that out a little bit and putting it closer to somewhere near the 16. But I think I haven't measured exactly what it is, but it's probably splitting the difference a little bit.
You definitely have to kind of go with feel to make sure that, however you set the compound radius, you're not getting any buzzes in the middle strings when you're up high, but when you're down low, it doesn't feel like those middle two strings are too high. So it's kind of finding something nice, a little bit of feel. As I said, it's a little bit more stressful with the compound radius, so I don't know. 12 is a good for me. Wow, it's like a 14, 16-inch radius.
Oh, it feels great, man.
Do you use big necks, like thick and wide?
No, not really.
Do you like wide necks, or do you like the skinnier neck?
I like a relatively narrow spacing.
Oh yeah, like the Fender,
Yeah,
side?
I like the spacing on Fender necks. That feels great to me. I mean, a lot of the Ibanez necks have like pretty wide, like 1 3/4 inch spacing. That for me, that's tough to get used to. I mean, I'm sure if you played it for a few months, you'd probably get used to it. But it's right out of the gate. If I feel, I'm like, ooh, this feels weird. It feels like I'm a little bit like playing a classical guitar or something.
Have you ever tried those like Music Man necks? Because the Music Man necks have like they're like Gibson-y in the thinness. So from the
like a 1 5/8 or something.
Yeah, it's like a true, because like 41 millimeter, 40 millimeter necks, like really kind of skinny. I have like my 68 Telly has such a thin nut. It's like so tiny. I feel like it's like a child's guitar, but it's actually really fun to play.
Yeah, it's fun. You have to kind of get used to that tighter spacing. And I used to have a couple guitars that were like that, and I've gotten used to like I think what's 43 millimeters.
Yeah, that's the standard.
Pretty common standard. That feels pretty nice.
The Gibson thing. Mm-hmm. It's really it's neat. Most of the Fender guitars 42, Gibson 43, and then the Revstar is 42. All the
right in the middle there.
Look at all this stuff we're talking. We're going on a tangent over here, eh? Oh my goodness! Nice. All right, so
is this myth busted?
I think
John Mayer's
this myth
doesn't know what he's
Johnny,
talking about.
I know you know. So like, what are we doing here? Like we know you know. I know you know. You know I know. So let's just get with it. 7 1/4 is awesome. It works for you. It sounds good depending on your setup, but it does make a difference. That's what I think.
Absolutely. Agreed. All right. Rigs on trial.
Rigs on trial. All right. Before we go on that, if you do have a cool opinion that you want us to go on a crazy tangent about and end up talking about nut widths, please write it in the comments.
John Mayer, please stop sending us all these crazy ideas.
Come on, Johnny. Leave us alone. But, okay, so that brings us to our next thing. It is called Rigs on Trial. Whose rig do we have today?
We've got Amy's rig today.
Oh, Amy.
Amy sent this one in and with a bit of a description, too.
Oh, cool. This is
Ford could do basically anything I would ever need, but at the same time not give me option paralysis.
I like that. See, that's cool. Yeah. Signal train. Let's see this here. We got the tuner, rev. Oh, you could like, move it so I can see both. Here, let's see here. Oh, here we go. Let's see.
Hang on.
The Rev G8. What is
G8.
that? Is that the noise gate? Oh, it is the noise gate. Okay. So we got a compressor, noise gate right off the top, and then we have the Warden compressor. I don't know what's the Ricochet.
So the Ricochet it's one of the whammy offshoot pedals where they've taken some of the whammy algorithms but like put them into smaller pedals. And the Ricochet is an interesting one because this is one that tries to simulate what the expression pedal does, but you basically set whoops, I dropped my pick. You set a start point and then kind of a finish point and how fast you want it to go. So let's say it goes up an octave, you hit that button and it'll go start from where your pitch is and it'll go up an octave and depending on how fast you tell it to do it. And you can do it momentary or latch, which is really cool.
And it's small and it just fits on the thing.
So if you want those big pitch bending type of things, but you don't want a full whammy, the Ricochet can do that.
I dig that. That's awesome. And then we have the Palisades. Freeman BEOD, great pedal. I love that one.
The Palisades is like that one's gonna go on our Tube Screamer of the Day list at some point. Dude, that one's like
that is
it's like
look at
insane like every imaginable variation I think you could have on a 2 screamer.
Yeah, it's really. And then the HX1, which is a multi-effects unit.
Yep.
We have
That's a great pedal. I've got one of those, and it's just a really nice utility pedal because it's basically like a blank pedal. It can be just about anything you want it to be: modulation, overdrive, any of their HX algorithms. Just runs one at a time. But
it's kind of like what the Boss pedal wants to be. That new Boss, the P.
The PX1, similar idea.
Slightly bigger, but you could cycle through presets faster.
Yeah, and this it's already loaded with all the algorithms too, so it's not like you don't have to download them necessarily. It's just got loads of stuff in there, and it'll take MIDI as well, which is cool.
Oh yeah.
So it works really nice in a MIDI switch.
And then we get atmospheric with the Avalanche run and the Aftermath. Two really Afterneath. Sorry, the Afterneath. Those are we're getting to the weeds with this one here. We're getting deep. Some really beautiful sounds you can get with these 2 pedals.
Yeah, Afterneath is particularly cool. I mean, you can spend all day just dreaming with that one.
Is the Afterneath before the Avalanche on the chain? That's interesting. Let me look at the write-up here.
On the list.
Let's see.
It is.
Afterneath into the Avalanche.
These 3 pedals are run 100% wet.
Run
into a second amp. Usually an iridium and a powered cab. Okay. There we go. So we got the wet dry rig.
And the DL4. So, let's see here. So we go.
The DL4
Well, here,
too.
Can you go back up to the write-up here? So we're gonna go Warden, Ricochet, Palisades, Freeman. So all the gains, and then the DL4 stereo going into the high
and that's where
wall.
the output splits into.
And then we get into. Okay. All right. Now I'm ready to talk about this setup. Well, I wonder what guitar is going on over here, eh?
I'm gonna guess an ESP most likely.
Well, I see the noise gate, and it's early on, so I'm actually thinking they're single coils, like P90s. That's my guess.
I know Amy's got a Jazzmaster.
The noisiest of the single coils, the Jazzmaster,
but also plays a lot of metal.
So. Hence the need for the noise gate.
The noise gate, exactly.
You know, the Jazzmaster.
I don't know about the option paralysis thing here. To me, this is. This is giving me option paralysis, especially with the reverbs and delays. Having an Avalanche run and a DL4, and an HX1.
I'm assuming that the DL4 is like more it's simple. My guess would be like most of the presets are probably like more straight ahead ones, and then that little split section is where it gets kooky.
Or the more spacey ones.
Yeah. You know, the noise gate, if she is using
Elephant Man.
Oh, where?
I have no idea what the Elephant Man sound is.
What's the elephant?
On the DL4.
Oh, that's the Deluxe Memory Man.
Oh.
Because the elephant never forgets.
Oh.
You like that?
Oh, geez.
You like that? That's good.
Oh, man.
That's good, man.
That's a groaner.
That's a groaner. So if it makes sense, if Emily's using a Jazzmaster with metal, right? So it's because the Jazzmaster is interesting that it has the.
I don't know that the Jazzmaster is being used for metal.
Oh no, okay. Because Jazzmaster has is the most hum. It has the hum amount of a P90, but it has the output of a Strat pickup. So it's really quiet and it's very, very noisy. I tried I gigged a lot with a Jazzmaster, and the hum is
significant.
It's noticeable. Like sometimes a Strat or a Tele hum can kind of get unnoticed. When you're in the heat of the moment. I am very well aware of how noisy my Jazzmaster is. It is a noisy thing. I like the stacking of the gains, right? Because you got the Palisades, the 2 different flavors.
Yeah, the BEOD, so that's based on the Friedman BE100, presumably. Yeah. Big, fiery, juiced up Plexi 100-watt EL34 amp.
Gives you a lot of
lots of gain.
Oh yeah. And then you could goose it up with the Palisades the way it's all set up, or have the Palisades sit on their own. Warden for the clean sounds, or even to boost the BE. You could do all kinds of things over there.
That one's I believe it's an optical compressor.
Very, very nice. I like that.
It's a nice sounding pedal.
Nice and smooth. Nice. It doesn't get in the way. I'm assuming the HX1 is just the anything you need at any time.
I'm guessing mostly for modulation, because there's really no modulation pedals on there.
Is there is that a hologram hiding in the corner there too?
Oh, good eye.
That's
good eye.
Oh, microcosm. Yeah, the hologram microcosm. Yeah, that pedal is another. Okay. We're talking about option paralysis. Like the amount of sounds you can get out of this rig is ridiculous. Like you can sound like a synthesizer.
There's a lot. There's a lot going on there. It's not that big, but there's a ton going on.
Oh, I love it. And you can get pretty rock. You could get almost any style of music you want out of it. It's incredibly versatile.
Definitely versatile.
And it's beautiful. Lots of Earthquaker. A little bit of a showing of the earth. I find that,
4 Earthquaker pedals.
It's neat. We've been looking at pedals. I find that a lot of people, they tend to really connect with a certain brand.
Yeah.
And then they get certain pieces to complement that outside of that brand. And it's cool because what's neat with this, the way the industry is, like there's millions of people that do a tube screamer, right? There's millions of people that do an optical compressor. But, when you're getting in a brand, you're there's an ethos to it. And there's also a way they're tweaked. Like, like I have a theory that the people that work at Earthquaker, my theory is a lot of them like humbuckers, because I find that their pedals tend to complement the strengths of a humbucker. And so you kind of find a brand that works with what you hear and what your sound is. So when you play their take on a tube screamer or their take on an optical compressor, it fits what you like out of a tube screamer, what you like out of a compressor. Very, very cool stuff.
Very neat. Earthquaker, let us know. Are you guys all playing humbuckers down there?
It's my theory.
Prove us wrong.
And I guess so. That's cool. That's it for Rig. That's Rig on Trial.
There
really
we are.
Beautiful.
Thanks
rig.
for sending that one in, Amy.
I love it. If you have a really cool rig that you want to share with us, you can go on Spotify, Tapestry Music Store. You can tag us at Rigs on Trial, Big Shiny Tones. You can do something like that, and we would love
send
to
us a message on Instagram, or you can email us, or many different ways to. You can send us a letter in the mail.
A letter?
With a photo. Send us a Polaroid.
Oh,
that would actually be really
with
cool.
Like a wax stamp, like a wax seal where there's like your family crest on it. That would be, or send it by pigeon parcel.
Just send it to Studio A, Toronto, Ontario.
So I guess that brings us to our very, very last thing, and that is Tube Screamer of the Day. And I think we already picked it right over here, right?
I think so.
Our Tube Screamer of the Day is going to be the Palisades, because it's
is
right there, right in front of us. Earthquake. Oh, no. That's the plumes. What were we doing?
No, we already did that.
Yeah.
The Palisades is it is Tube Screamer based, but it's takes you about as far away from I think Tube Screamer as you can get,
while still being in the universe of Tube Screamer. Our goal is to have more episodes of this show than there are Tube Screamer clones, and we're holding on strong. And I guess
there's no shortage of Tube Screamer clones out there.
And I guess that brings us to the end of our episode. That's it for Big Shiny Tones.
That's a wrap for this week. Thanks so much for watching. We'll be back here every Thursday, and we're up on the YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, if you want to just get the audio, and then you don't need to look at us. But hey, we got lots of cool stuff, so definitely check it out on the YouTube there. And I always forget, there's an affiliate link down there below too. And if you are looking to buy something off the Tapestry Music website, use the affiliate link. Doesn't cost you any extra, but it helps support the show. So thanks so much for watching, and till next time.
Bye-bye, everybody.
See you then. Cheers.
Here they go. Bum, ba-dum, ba-dum. All right, we did it.